people, it's kind of noxious. It's not bad to me,
Right.
but
Hey, welcome
very
back
pretty.
to AM Live. I'm here with Jeff Freeman, and
We're talking.
We're talking about all these crazy plants and critters out there, and Jeff's going to tell us about treatment and everything going on, and Safeguard Pest Control, and the pests are out. Am I correct?
Oh yes, and we
Oh,
had the
boy.
rains a week ago, followed by warm weather, and that just gets them all going.
Oh, it's
Right,
unbelievable.
the phones just light up.
Yeah.
When that happens, all the ants and everything really start
Well,
moving.
the ants come out. They're looking for water. Am I right? Is that what they say?
Sometimes they are.
That's kind of like.
Although I've never understood why we've had calls for customers in the middle of rainstorms and have ants in the kitchen sink, and it seems like
That's
there's
weird.
plenty of water for them outside, but
Yeah.
I don't know. They will come in for food. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Right now they're reproducing like it's going out of style, and they have young to produce.
The only insect we don't want to touch is the bees, right? Because
Honeybees are wonderful.
we need them
Yeah.
desperately to pollinate, because
Yeah,
we had that disease that killed all of them.
There's a lot of if you're doing your own pesticide spray in your own house. If you got things that are flowering and the bees are pollinating, stay away from
Yeah,
those.
leave them alone.
Leave the honeybees alone. Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're having enough trouble. We don't want to bother them.
So this is something that everybody up here knows about, mountain misery,
Mountain misery,
Right.
upcountry especially.
and very flammable, you said.
Very flammable, very oily. It's a native. It's got some good benefits to it. Like we were talking about earlier.
Erosion.
For erosion control.
Right.
It holds the soil like you wouldn't believe, and it does a great job with that. But when you get close to your house, it can cause a problem, because if you ever get a fire, it just burns
Right.
like crazy. It's very.
Now, you said that this mountain misery contains a lot of oil,
Oh yes, it does.
and it just goes up like that. So what can you do besides yanking it out and getting rid of it?
Roundup works pretty good.
Roundup?
Yeah, in fact,
Okay.
we use Roundup or a generic form
Uh-huh.
on most things, and you can either do it as a homeowner, or you can have us come up and do it either way. Timing on perennial plants like these here is always important. When I talked to Monsanto, the manufacturer, years ago, they said if you got a perennial plant right after it flowers, right after it produces seed, that's the best time to go ahead and treat these and get the herbicide to go down and kill the roots. And you can get a pretty good control
Because a
over
lot of
it.
times, Jeff, people do it beforehand. It rains and then it's gone.
If you do it too early for rain, yeah, generally the product's going to be pretty rain fast within a few hours.
You want the flower to bloom.
Yeah, like this here, you got the mountain miseries bloom. This came from my house in Pine Grove, and which is really low for mountain misery, and so at my house it really doesn't do very well. So I don't even bother. It's just a small patch, but you can see it starting to flower now. Up country, it might be a little bit further behind, and right after that's done, it would be a great time to treat it if you want to get rid of it.
And this,
This is yellow star thistle.
which everybody is familiar with.
Yeah, this one's just starting to put a flower on. On the way here this morning, I stopped by across from Rossbridge Road and picked this one off the side of the road. If you're going to treat it this time of year, you can, again, with Roundup or another a generic form. You want to do it before these seeds are fertilized, these flowers fertilize, and you start developing seed to prevent the seeds for next year.
Okay.
Scotch broom was originally brought here and sold in nurseries as a landscape plant, because it is pretty, but it's gone wild, and it's considered a noxious weed, just like this here is. And again, this one here is flowering. You're starting to see these little pea pods on here.
Right.
This one was next door, was on the road coming to my house, again up by there, and I get a lot of it. And
So when that's
pretty soon,
done, then it's time to, and we're
getting close.
We're getting close to where we should take this and get rid of it. Plus, the rain is just about gone, but you need to make sure there's no rain in the forecast when you start doing this. Am I right?
well, to some extent.
At least if they have a couple days, right?
One day is generally good enough.
Really?
One day is
Oh, okay.
generally plenty. Some labels say just 4 hours is rain fast. I like to give it a little bit more,
Okay.
but after that it should be fine. The rains aren't going to wash off. It's going to get into the plant and do fine.
And that you have to really be careful of that.
Yeah,
This poison oak?
this is poison oak. I don't even know if I want to take the lid off.
No, that's okay.
This one here is, you can see it does have flowers,
It does.
and this one here is just finished blooming. And pretty soon it's going to have berries on there.
Okay.
So we're getting close to the time to treat for that too.
And what is the difference between the poison oak and the poison ivy leaf? They
My
look-
understanding, we don't have poison ivy here in the West Coast.
Okay.
My understanding is that the leaves are all threes, but I'm a West Coast boy. I've never even seen poison ivy.
No, me neither.
It's-
That's what I was
it's-
asking.
This is what I've always
Poison
dealt
oak.
with. Yeah,
And
that's all you're going to find
some people
around.
are susceptible to it, and
I
some
am.
people, are you?
Yeah.
And some people aren't. Not
And
going to
you're
they
not.
say.
You're fortunate.
So far, so
Lucky
good.
you.
Today I'll break out. So there
Get
you
that
go.
lid on there real good.
There you go. Tell us about the pests now. What's coming out? Ants?
Ants are the big one. Yeah, they're coming out like it's going out of
And
style.
all different sizes. I've got some that I tell you, they look like little cars on the road. They're huge.
Well, you're up country down in Pines, so you're probably seeing
Right.
the carpenter ants.
Yeah.
Right now. They're carpenter ants are mostly nocturnal though. The ones you see during daytime, if you're seeing them, that's just a smattering of what's going on. And if they're just outside, fine. They're not bothering anything.
Right.
And that's kind of the way we look at most pests. Just because you have something outside doesn't mean you have to kill it.
Right.
If it's causing a problem at the house, now that's another matter. Carpenter ants and a few other ants can do damage to structures. They don't eat wood. They'll excavate it to
Right.
make room for
They go
tunnels
in-
at their galleries.
they go in and
for
tunnel.
their home. Yeah,
Right.
it's just a home. Then they have to get rid of this debris someplace. So they don't care if it's wood or sheetrock insulation, whatever. They'll make these tunnels in there.
Yeah, they're
so you don't
nasty.
want, if they're going into your home, if you see a trail going underneath your siding or something
Then
like that,
it's time-
now it's time to
Time to
take
do
care of that.
something.
Yeah.
Right.
But if they're just out in the trees, out in the woods, who cares?
But we
That's
want to
good.
leave the bees alone.
Honeybees, you don't want
Honeybees,
to
leave alone.
It's just like these here. If you're going to be treating this, of course, Roundup, I don't know if it's going to cause any problems for it, but in general, with any kind of pesticides, if you've got plants that are being pollinated, don't treat them. Stay away from those.
Right. Now, Jeff, if anybody has any questions, they can reach you at Safeguard Pest Control.
Oh, yes.
And give them your number.
Our number is 267-1200. We can either give you advice treating yourself, or we can set appointments so we can treat it for you.
Great, because that's important. A lot of times people don't understand that maybe it's best to have an expert like you come out and see what they have, what they don't have, and you can treat accordingly.
Right. A lot of times that's good. ID to pests, ID to whatever first. A lot of times people will be treating for things that are actually beneficial. You don't want to
Beetles,
do that.
sometimes some of the beetles.
There's some beneficial.
Some of the beetles are very, very good. Once in a while they come in the house, come in on a broom or something, and I'll pick them up and put them outside.
Put them outside. Most of them aren't going to cause a problem inside the
No,
house.
no.
Certain ones do, and once you ID them and realize it is something that you shouldn't have in your house, then it's time to treat. But if it's just an occasional one that comes from the
9 times out
outside
of 10,
or something
they
like
just
that,
come in on
most of the time
a broom or a rug
most
that
of the
you've
time they're fine.
let outside or whatever. So get a hold of Jeff at Safeguard Pest Control at
267-1200.
very good.
Nice,
And
easy number.
He'll come out and he'll let you know what needs to go and what needs to stay and what you have and what you don't
Right.
have. Thank you, Jeff, very much
You're
for
welcome.
that information. I appreciate it. And I believe that we are going to get ready to go over to Cam. Or am I going to go over to Cam? I'm going to
You're
go
going
over
to
and see Cam. I have to leave you, Jeff.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
so
shoot.
sorry. So with that, we're going to cut over to Cam, and I'm going to leave Jeff and meet Cam over there in a minute.